Hey everyone, I'm NATO King, and we're gonna play through Underhero again. But I feel really bad about killing all those monsters the first time through. So what do you say we try killing as few as possible? This one, sadly, we can't skip. Although I've heard there's a glitchy way to do it by using a potion mid-jump to increase your height. Meanwhile, I am quite distinctly holding the start button, and it doesn't skip the tutorial. I'm forced to go through with it. Alright. And I know all this stuff, but I can only do the things that are enabled so far. I can't take the actions that haven't specifically been tutorialized. And also, it's been such a long time since I fought any of these things, I have forgotten their tells. I'm so used to just hitting the shield button, which I can't do yet. Alas, one mandatory casualty. There's going to be a lot of moving back and forth between fights, and we've already seen all of this stuff, so I'm going to speed up as much of it as I can. So now we're finally going to learn about bribes, and look, it actually skipped this tutorial. Why that one and none of the others, I have no idea. So alright, let's go ahead and bribe someone. Now, not everyone we bribe is necessarily going to have new stuff to say, but a lot of them do. So I'll talk to everyone after I bribe them. Fortunately, they're cheap, because I don't have a lot of money yet. Yeah, she explained all this the first time through. So a lot of the enemies are just going to give us exactly the same lines when we bribe them as they do if you talk during the battle. And some of them do both. There's nothing else up top there of interest to us right now. But then, down in the water, there was that one Aminoguana. I'm barely standing on the ledge. I think when we first fought him, he said, "I hope nobody steals the stuff that's in my chest," so now he's just willing to give it to us. Well, don't worry, friendo, there will be very little beating up of enemies today. And the nice thing is that even if you bribe the enemies, if they were going to drop something like a cassette or magic anvil, they still drop that. You just get half the experience from the fights that you would get if you actually defeated them. It's, I believe, the only enemy standing in our way from getting back to this gate. And there were a bunch of enemies down here. This is the one that tutorialized the shield. And again, I don't seem to be able to skip the tutorial. I have to go through with it. And this requires me to actually block the attack. Alright. Oop. The wrong button. Controller I'm using back and start are right next to each other. I didn't even do any parries, but whatever. I don't remember which of the water pools was progress and which was just hiding secrets. Yeah, it's kind of sad because the chest's got more money than what I gave him. And now we run into some problems where if you've bribed an enemy, a lot of times it'll talk to them if you try to manipulate something that's right next to them. Like, it still opened the chest, but it also activated the dialogue, which is a bit weird. If I remember correctly, coming up here was one of those mini-bosses. We could talk to this snake, but we can't bribe them. So I guess we're stuck just fighting. Which is fine, honestly. I mean, considering I'm only oh yeah, that's right. They only do the tell once, the purple ones. But considering I'm only getting half the experience from the enemies that I bribe, I'm gonna be way behind the level curve going ahead. Fortunately, I got really good at parrying over the first playthrough, because I'm gonna be depending on that a lot. Darn, really should have picked up the HP first. So nothing really of interest until we get into the tree. I skipped the whole Tim and Timbolt thing, because I don't think anybody wants to watch that again. But there are plenty of fights here, and we get the slingshot tutorialized. Again, I can't bribe until I've actually attempted to shoot this Mothy with a slingshot, but I don't want to hit it. So we'll move ahead. Ah, the simpler times. And I don't remember, one of these Mothies I forgot to talk to in the original playthrough before I defeated them. I think it might have been this one? Probably not. I know it wasn't this one. Hey, finally, my first level up! And I'm doing the same thing I did before, going for 2 stamina points first. So, at least I'll be able to use the hammer without running completely out of stamina. Alright, and the boss, of course we're not going to be able to bribe this one. I have to defeat her. Pretty sure you can't parry this attack. Just seems really silly if you would be able to do that. Alright, that I can parry. Stop using the dang poison! That's better. You might be able to hit it with a hammer while it's stunned, but I think the hammer attack could take just a bit too long, and also I don't have it yet. And I was too busy shooting at the time to parry. Oh well. Should be about finished. Alright. Naturally, I'm going to be skipping a lot of stuff, but I do kind of want to keep track of some of the upgrades that I'm getting as I go along. Although, what I've heard is that increasing your health actually makes it take longer for your rage mode to charge up. Because it happens when you deal or take the same amount of damage as your maximum HP. But I don't think I'm going to depend on it all that much. Mostly just for bosses. Alright, this sounds like the same thing that she said last time. There were a lot of these guys on this stretch. Yeah, I'm probably going to depend on that for most of my damage output against the boss here. Alright, it's race time. It occurs to me in post that I probably should have gone ahead and fought these guys. I was concerned about the amount of money that I'd have at the end of it all, so I didn't stop and deal with them. But you can bribe the monsters in this fight just like any others. Although, it helps if you don't accidentally hit the potion button instead of the throw money at them button. Yeah, sorry about that not entirely being readable, but I was trying to skip through it pretty quickly because I didn't know if the race was continuing. And of course people had to talk while the monster was talking, so you didn't get to read it. But ultimately, every fight that I can get into and actually bribe them is a little bit more XP. And I'm gonna need all the XP I can get. Especially if I can't manage to time my parries properly. So nothing else interesting happens until we get down to the basement. There was a long drop where I collected a whole bunch of coins. And then an area with a lot of fights. And the hammer tutorial. Which again, I don't seem to be able to skip. Alright, sorry pal. I'll pay to make up for it. And with nice timing, I get the stamina just at about the time when I've got the upgrade that allows me to use it. Yeah, I do have plenty of money, so I'm not really concerned about not being able to bribe the enemies. But there's also certainly stuff I'm going to need to buy, just for survival. Alright, pretty sure this was the same thing that we heard the first time through. Except for that last part. That was new. Another satisfied customer. And pretty sure this was an important upgrade. Oh yeah, charge attack, so I can actually get something more out of my sword attacks, which are still going to be the main thing that I use, I think. Well, that wasn't very important. Yeah, I think this is the same story we heard the first time through. Although it's kind of interesting reading thoughts about the king when we know what we know. And there's just one more fight at this point, and then the end of the fetch quest. Let's just pay our way into the bar. For whatever reason, the snails take a lot of money. I get it, he's Bouncy Bob the Bouncer. So finally, the upper part of the tree. We've got the treasure vault section first. And this might be the Mothy I forgot to talk to the first time. No, I don't think so. I think I talked to this one. Yeah, not too concerned about the spikes. Yeah, we'll be dealing with ghosts plenty in the next chapter. Oh yeah, this weird part. guess I should be a little concerned about the spikes. I don't want to fight those spawns if I don't have to. Yeah, I'll be going back to get the stuff that's in the apartments between chapters. I don't even feel the need to show that sped up. And that's the treasure vault taken care of, so it's just the final stretch to the actual Moth Queen. And the tutorial on rush mode. And I can't skip this either. Alright, here we go. I don't think it ends manually. I think I have to keep attacking. Still, I want to bribe him. Before he charges at me. I mean, I already know it. I played through the game before. Fortunately, I think that was the last of them, though. I'm trying to think what little flashy things they might be talking about. I don't think you can throw coins at the larvae. Maybe it's suggesting that I shoot a slingshot pellet over their heads? Oh, wait, this is the one. This is the one I forgot to talk to the first time. Merb. I don't know how a moth would wear ice skates. Alright, on to the boss. Should be a challenge because I've still got my starting attack. I wasn't able to get any extra levels in that. No, okay, I was expecting her to be spitting that whatever it is across the screen, the poison drool or whatever. This attack is pretty easy to dodge when you know it's coming. This stuff. Alright, and here comes my opportunity to attack. We got just enough stamina to do one hammer swing and one charged sword attack, and that's it. That was close. Alright, yeah, she's going across the bottom of the screen now. I can see it. It's tough to see because the health bar is in the way of most of the blowing wind if you're up top and she's coming across the bottom. But in that case, you're not going to get hit anyway, so it's not like there's a big problem. This is going to take a while, and it occurs to me I should probably also use my rush mode at some point. Yeah, I knew it was coming, but I couldn't get out of the way. I don't know whether it's better to be up here or down below. There might not be a difference. Alright, well that did slightly more than one attack pattern would have done. And I can't stand directly under her like that. Yeah, it's a good thing those things explode when she lands, because I would not want to have to deal with her with those things rolling into me. Oh, goody. Problem is, I don't really have a whole lot of health, so I gotta be careful. I wonder if maybe just 3 sword swings would be better than a hammer attack and 1 sword swing. I never know what these blobs are gonna do. That was close. And I think my controller briefly disconnected? Alright, I know I'm putting myself in harm's way by not healing here, but I want to be able to do this. Heal up, and get a full stamina bar so I can keep attacking. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough to finish her off in one cycle. Maybe if I'd just done 6 sword attacks. But I think we're finally done here. So alright, the first boss at least is still manageable on a fairly low level. Speaking of which, absolutely upgrading attack this time. And probably all the times from now on. I think I've got enough stamina, I really just need to be able to kill things in the few instances when I actually am called upon to kill things. In the meantime, we're done here, so I'll see everyone next time.